welcome back to another episode of Murray Gray Spills the Tea. This is the news show where I talk about all the news and gossip surrounding American Girl. And let's just say we have some tea to be spilt. So, several of you, and I am very, very thankful for everyone who brought this to my attention. So thank you so much to everyone who sent me Instagram messages and comments and letting me know that a new trademark has dropped from American Girl. So on September 12th, which was 4 days ago, American Girl trademarked a name, Summer McKinney. Hopefully I'm saying that right because, I have a horrible track record of mispronouncing names before they're released, which is terrible because I'm planning on becoming a teacher. So I'm going to have to deal with lots of names, and I'm going to have to get better at guessing and pronouncing people's names correctly. But that is a side point, because today we are going to be talking about this trademark. So first I want to discuss some things we know and that a little bit more likely, and then I'll get more into the speculation and my opinions about what I think this doll might be like. So if we scroll down, I'm just on this website, and I'll leave it linked in the description if you want to check it out yourself. Again, these websites are a little bit, I don't want to say sketchy, but they're a little bit inconsistent and not always 100% correct. I mentioned that in a previous video. I did a video talking about the entirety of dead American Girl trademarks and characters that almost were American Girl characters but ended up not being a thing later, and new possible characters. So all the trademarks that are still owned by American Girl, I covered that in a video. I'll have that linked in the description box below, which will talk about other trademarks that might come in the future, but then also what happened to previous ones that are now dead. But in the video and in other videos, I talked about how a few things. So sometimes trademarks can be dead and then they actually end up being released characters. But that just shows that these websites aren't completely 100% reliable. Like, for example, Bryant was a dead trademark, but then he later showed up as a Welly Wisher. So that's just something to keep in mind, that these sites aren't always consistent. But one good indicator is if we get a first and a last name, we are statistically way more likely to get this character than we are a character that's just a first name. So this character is almost sort of a done deal. The only thing that I could kind of see happening is if they change the name. So even if we get some leaks about what their character and personality and interests are, they might change the name. For example, Joss was originally Emery Von Zant or something like that. I talk about that in my Dead Trademarks video. And she was originally supposed to be Emery, and they changed her name, but they didn't change her character, and they didn't change anything about her. So, or they might have little things, but the basic premise was the same. They just changed her name. So again, this character, the name might be different, but she is probably going to happen. So the new dolls are coming. Well, there's a few things I could talk about. Hold on, let me scroll down. So this is some other information here, and again, I'll have this linked in the description box below. Some interesting things. It's prints and publications, cutlery, machinery, tools, and parts thereof, games, toys, and sporting goods. And then it says primary international class, toys and sporting goods, games and playthings, gymnastics and sporting articles not included in other classes, and decorations for Christmas trees. So that is interesting there. I'm not too familiar about what these copyrights mean. Originally I thought, are they going to release another gymnastics girl, because it says gymnastics right here, but after reading it again, I'm like, I don't think so, because it'd be weird, because the new girl, Lila Monetti, who's the rumored girl of the year for 2024, she is rumored to do like a horse, I think it's called horse vaulting or something like that, and it's like gymnastics basically done on a horse, and it's like a very dangerous sport. But that is the rumor of what she's going to be like, based on an email American Girl sent out to some of its Barry members, which had an emoji of a horse and a girl doing gymnastics. So that's what people are leaning towards based on that email. So I highly doubt that this Summer McKinney is going to be a gymnastics girl. But again, that's a huge if. I mean, American Girls can do whatever they want. The question I have is this a new historical? I don't know, because I can't think of many time periods that would use the name Summer. I was thinking maybe the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, but we already have two 90s girls, and Courtney is from the 80s, so maybe the early 2000s. They could be trying to profit off of that nostalgia and releasing a 2000s character. Definitely possible. I was also thinking maybe she could be an indigenous character because the name Summer. I mean, there's many people who are not indigenous named Summer, but Summer, I have met a few people who have the first name Summer and they're indigenous. So, I mean, maybe that's just a possibility, but that might be just wishful thinking on my part, because I would love an indigenous character, and maybe that would be put into the World by Us. Now, that being said, I highly doubt that it's going to be the World by Us, considering there's rumors of the World by Us being retired. But I am also conflicted by that. I mean, yes, World by Us hasn't had a lot of promotion recently. It was released in 2021, and theoretically, they would release dolls every 2 years, so we should be getting more dolls this year, but the rumors are there's no real evidence suggesting that there are going to be more World by Us characters. There might be. I'd be very shocked, but it's definitely possible. Or they could be delaying it and releasing it next year, because I think if they were going to retire World by Us already, wouldn't they have done it already? I mean, maybe they're trying to squeeze one more holiday season out of the World by Us and then going to retire it. But there was that big sale and it said limited quantities, and I rushed to get my World by Us characters because I was afraid they were going to retire, and then they ended up not retiring them. So I don't know what's going on with the World by Us line, because they're still very much on the website. How that goes, like, I'll just show you, like, if you go, the World by Us is very much still on the website there. As you can see, they're all there. Some of the outfits are retired. Most of the outfits are retired. But the dolls are still there, and I mean, they retire outfits all the time, and it doesn't necessarily mean the dolls are going to retire. The outfits, I find, do not exist for long enough, in my opinion, but yeah, they're very much there. There's nothing saying limited quantities or anything, but yeah, we got McKenna, and oh, I highly recommend these dolls, by the way. I got them very recently, and well, I have Yvette. I had Yvette for a while, but Maritza and McKenna, so cute. McKenna is so underrated, so adorable. Love McKenna. But anyways, that's a side point. It's just really hard to speculate what this character is going to be like, considering we don't know much about Lila Monetti yet, which is the rumored girl of the year for 2024. I find from my personal experience that they try to like balance things and interests and personalities out. For example, we have Kira, who was outdoorsy, liked animals, and then we had Corinne, who liked was a sports, skiing or snowboarding. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she was an outdoor. So Kira was like summer, and Corinne was like winter, and then Covey was artistic with theater, and so they try to balance it out with like art and then sports and then animals, and then they throw in some other interesting ideas of it's not like a perfect pattern, but there is some similarities that you can see that American Girl does. So I'm trying to think. Covey was into the arts, so maybe this doll won't be into the arts, but if she's a historical, maybe she will be. Again, I don't know. I really don't know. I have very little speculation on this character, but I would love to hear your thoughts about it. So if you want to leave your thoughts and comments in the comments section below about what your theories are, or even what you're hoping this doll will be like. Do you hope she's a historical? Do you hope she's a World by Us? Do you hope that she is a girl of the year? Make sure to leave it in the comment section below, because I'm really lost. I don't know what to think. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow my Instagram and my TikTok. And I will see you all with another video.